Okay, I have provided a worksheet, right, for the notes. So if you can print this worksheet out, have it ready before this video. You can print it out and then come back to the video. Again, for this class, I'm going to provide the notes where, I provide the worksheet, so you don't have to draw these out. Again, if you don't have a printer, well, then you're going to have to pause it every time and then draw it and then just take the notes manually and draw everything manually. Okay, before I go into actually solving the problems here, I want you to notice that this assignment, this section is now talking about the exterior angle theorem. We know exterior is outside. An exterior angle, and notice it's only one, it's not exterior angles. Okay, so we're talking about an exterior angle. So before I go into this, you might want to maybe take notes on the back of this paper or on another paper. Okay, so the last assignment we had the interior angle sum. The interior, right, we know this is inside, angle sum. Well, angle sum is you're going to add the angles. Well, you know that, right, because we already did this assignment. Sometimes they use letters on the outside. Sometimes they use numbers. And you know that there's a little equation. You know that when you add these three, angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3, for any triangle, you know that they have to add up to what? To 180. Well, that's for the interior. We're not talking about interior anymore. This is still true though, right? Angle 1 plus, right? Angle 2 plus, right? Because there's three angles. Angle 3. I gotta have three parts. Sometimes there's numbers, sometimes there are expressions, but I know that I have to equal to 180, right? Okay, we're not talking about that. We learned that one already. That is still true. That is for the interior angles. That is always going to be true. They add up to 180. Now, we're talking about what? And it's not called an exterior angle sum. It's called the exterior. It's an exterior angle. An exterior angle is just one, theorem. Well, let me just tell you what it is. I mean, again, exterior means the outside of the triangle. An outside angle. Here, these are inside. We're talking about an angle on the outside of the triangle. So let me tell you how that works. Well, again, if you have any triangle, we know that these in here are interior angles. The one on the inside are interior angle. But what you're going to see now, what they're going to do is they can take any one of these lines, right? These are interior. I'm going to color them red, right? These are the interior ones. The ones on the inside. They add up to 180. We know that. But an exterior angle, I can stretch this line out. And see now, this angle here created is an exterior angle. Okay? But you could have easily also extended this line this way, right? We could have went this way. Right, this is an exterior angle. Or you could extend it out this way, making another angle here, or you can extend this way, make an angle out here. Okay, there's many ways to get exterior angles, as long as it's one of the angles on the outside, right? This angle here. That's an exterior angle. But what you're gonna see, it's actually gonna be pretty easy. To figure out this angle, you're actually going to need the help of two of these here. So I'm just going to tell you what it is. Here it is. Let's say I have a triangle like this, and I'm just going to pick some numbers, right? I'm going to pick 80 degrees. Right, here's an example. I'm going to just put the three angles already. 80 degrees, 40 degrees, and that's 120, so that makes this one 60, right? Because they add up to 180. Now check this out. I'm going to pretend we're just dealing with this exterior angle over here. Well, if I'm using this angle, if I'm trying to find this angle measure here, I can't, you don't look at this one, the one that's making 180 with it. But bottom line is, not counting this one, if you add these two, that's how much this one measures. So that's 40 plus 80. Well, then that makes at 120 degrees. So to figure out this exterior angle, don't add all three, they'll add up to 180, right? Add up these other two, not this included angle, not this one that makes a straight. I mean, we can get a straight angle also, but to get the exterior angle, they call these remote angles out here. It'll be the same as these two. And then it makes sense, right? Because 60 plus 120, if this one's 120, doesn't that add up to 180, and this is making a straight line? Okay. So here goes another one. I mean, I really didn't need to know that. You really don't even need to know this one. I didn't need to know that one to figure out the exterior angle. If I go this way like this, right? And here's my triangle, and this is the line that is creating this exterior angle here on the outside. Well, let's say this is 50 degrees, and that's 40 degrees. Oh, that can't be right. This is way more than 50. This is more like 80. Oh, I don't want to use that. Let's go with 80 and 60, sorry. 80 and 60. If this is 80 and 60, then I add these up. That's how much this outside one adds up to be. So this is going to be what? 80 plus 60. That means this exterior angle right here. What's 80 plus 60? 140. That means this one's 140. Okay. All right. But I don't want you to do it like this, because you're not just going to have easy numbers to figure out. They're going to have expressions here. So I'm going to have you set up an equation. Okay, now turn to this one. We're just going to set up the equations. You guys can solve them, I'm sure, from this one, right? From this printout. Here's the printout that I provided. If you don't have this, then here's where you pause it for number one. Here's where you copy the problem. And here's where you figure it out. Now remember, for math, there's almost 99%, or there's always a way to set up an equation and you communicate your math. What is true? What is true? That this angle here, when it has a question mark, I'm just going to put x, right? This exterior angle x. X is equal to what? The sum of these two. The sum of what? The sum of angle D plus angle E. Right? This one is going to measure the sum of these two. And this is the equation that I want you to put. So you're going to put x is equal to what? Well, 50 plus 80. And then you can tell me, well, yeah, x is 130. Right? I don't want to see your work and then I just see like a number right there. I don't know how you got that. So always show your work, communicate your work. Okay, number two. Again, here's where you pause it. If you don't have a printer, and you didn't print this paper, here's number 2. Now this one's a little bit different. But again, here's my exterior angle. And here's the 2 that are the remote angles that I'm going to set up my equation. Well, what's the equation? I understand that the exterior angle, in this case 125, is equal to what? The sum of these two, which is angle D plus angle E. See how it was different? On the first problem, they gave you these two and they asked you for this one. Now here they're giving you this one and one of these, but not one of these, not the other, sorry. So the point is, it's not going to matter because you're going to know how to set up your equation. The exterior angle is going to be equal to the sum of these two. Again, they're called remote angles. And don't include that one, right? So that's going to be 125 is equal to 125 is equal to what? 40 plus what? Well, the measure of angle E. And then you can figure that out, right? Subtract 40, I believe it's like 85 or something. Okay. Let's look at, now those are the easy ones, right? Let's look at the ones with the expressions. See, now it looks like this. Okay, here's where you pause it if you don't have a printer and you didn't print this worksheet. Again, if I'm going too fast, you're able to rewind it. So, you know, you can rewind it and go back to this one. Okay. So, which one's our exterior angle? This one. This one's our exterior angle. Which ones are to remote? Well, again, see, now we have expressions. That's this one and this one, right? Well, this and this. So what's the equation you're going to set up? Well, the exterior angle, which is 130 degrees, is equal to, and now I got to add these two parts, 26x plus 2. And I'll put that's angle G, right? I should have put angle G plus angle H. Sorry, I skipped that. Plus, and then angle H, which is 5 plus 15x. You really don't need the parentheses, but this one's the one for G, this one's the one for H, right? For angle G, for angle H. Well, now you're going to combine like terms. It's going to be 130 is equal to the x's with the x's will combine. That'll give you 26 plus 15 is 41x, I think. Plus 7, right? Because 2 plus 5. Okay, and then the point is that that's how you do it and you solve it, right? You'll get 123 equals 41x, and when you divide, the answer is 3. The value of x is 3, sorry, the value of x. Now, careful, because sometimes it's going to just ask you to solve for x, which some of you, with those of you that did that last assignment, you were fine. If it all says solve for x, you solve for x. But on the other problems, it doesn't say solve for x. It says find the measure of the indicated angle. Here it's asking you to find the measure of angle C. Find the measure of angle C. It doesn't say to solve for x, but you're going to still need to solve for x. Okay, last one, number 4. Which one's the exterior angle? This one. That's my exterior angle. And which are your two remote? The other ones, not the one next to the exterior, the other two. So I know that the exterior angle, which is 14x plus 9, is equal to the sum of angle what? B plus angle C. And what do we have here? Well, 14x plus 9 is equal to what's B? Oh, 70 degrees. Good, it's a number. Plus, and for C, it doesn't have a number, it has an expression, 8x minus 7. So I can combine like terms here before I start moving things around. 14x plus 9 is equal to 8x. 70 take away 7 is 63. All right, so you're going to have to solve for x. Sometimes when it says you always, as a matter of fact, you always solve for x. And if the problem says solve for x and you found x, you're done. But on this one, we're going to solve for x, and we're going to get, right, minus 8x, that's going to be 6x plus 9 equals 63, and then minus 9, that's going to be 6x equals 54. Divide by 6, you're going to get x equals 9. Some of you on your homeworks, on a problem like this, you just solve for x on the last homework, right? Not this one. On the last homework, you solve for x, and that's great, but that's not the answer. Because if it says solve for x, okay, that is the answer. But this one, it says what? Solve for the measure of angle C. That's not the measure of angle C. In order for me to calculate angle C, what do I know about angle C? Right here. I know that angle C is equal to this 8x minus 7. I got to do 8 times the value of x minus 7. Well, see, now that's why I shouldn't have even boxed this, right? Because I only boxed my final answer. I know the value of x is 9. I'll just circle it, because I only boxed my final answer. How do I get angle C? 8 times what? X is 9, right? We got 9 minus 7. 9 times 8, or 8 times 9, 72, take away 7. That gives me what? The measure of angle C is whatever 72, I think it's 65. Okay, then that's the measure of angle C. All right, so make sure you're answering the question. If it just says solve for x, well, like up here, you'd be done when you solve for x. But if it says to find a specific indicated angle, you still got to do this part, solve for x, but then you substitute it where you need to find the angle measure. All right, good luck. There's another video, another one from YouTube that I found. That's on video 2. If you think you need to see more examples, you can look at that one, but you should be okay with this one. All right, good luck. Thank you.